Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dave Russell. Well, a reminder, the Ohio AgNet will be traveling to Wilmington College tomorrow to attend their annual Earth Day Ag Day event that celebrates agriculture's mutually important relationship with the Earth's sustainability. Well, what did the USDA's latest cattle on feed report reveal regarding year-over-year cattle inventories, placements, and marketings?
Still lower cattle inventory year over year per USDA's April cattle on feed report, yet continued signs of attempted inventory buildup. This is livestock analyst Anthony Fisher.
The number of cattle on feed and feedlots on April 1st was 11.64 million head. This was about 2% below a year ago. The report showed an increase in placements, which was within the range that industry analysts were expecting. The number of cattle placed in feedlots was about 1.84 million head, which was about 5% above 2024.
Marketings of fed cattle also represented a 1% increase from this time last year.
It's worth noting that April also gives us a breakout of cattle on feed for heifers and steers. On April 1st, there were 4.38 million head of heifers and heifer calves on feed, which was about 4% below a year ago.
With a lower percentage of heifer and heifer calves making up the total cattle and feedlot population than 1 year ago. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
According to White House documents obtained, the Trump administration is planning to severely scale back or outright eliminate funding for many programs across the Agriculture Department as it slashes workers and closes offices at the local level. The document from the Office of Management and Budget proposing fiscal 2026 funding levels would gut research and conservation efforts, trim program budgets nearly across the board, and cut staff as part of what OMB called many difficult decisions that were necessary to reach the proposed spending level. In the document, the OMB directed USDA to develop plans to consolidate its local, county-based offices around the country into state committees that would service the FSA, NRCS, and rural development. Well, the USDA's April dairy forecast showed increased production from the previous month.
A fairly big month-over-month increase in dairy production. That, according to USDA World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski, when looking at the April dairy outlook.
It just reflects a data revision, increase in cow numbers based on the latest NASS report. Also a little bit of an increase in milk per cow as well.
A lowering of exports for non-fat dry milk and whey leads to increased domestic use in the dairy balance sheet.
The higher production that we're showing this month, product prices across the board, price forecasts we reduced this month, not substantially.
Yet enough to reflect both month-over-month and year-over-year forecast reductions in milk class prices, a trend also found with the all-milk price. That was lowered in April by 50 cents, now at $21.10 per hundredweight.
That is down $1.51 from last year.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins said easing restrictions for non-citizen farm workers is a top priority as labor shortages continue to strain farmers across the U.S. Changes to the H-2A visa program and new legal pathways could offer relief soon. The Trump administration is working to finalize more lenient guidelines for non-citizen farm workers by harvest season. The Secretary's remarks came just days after President Trump told reporters during a cabinet meeting that he may ease immigration restrictions for farm laborers. The markets are next.
Ohio's beef farms run on the protein-packed punch of soybeans. Across the United States, beef operations consume the equivalent of 55 million bushels of soybean meal annually. Soy meal delivers the energy and essential nutrients that help produce top-quality beef for your table. From soybean fields to plates everywhere, soybeans power the farms that feed families. This message brought to you by the Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Think biodiesel is just another fuel? Think again. Biodiesel is Ohio innovation on the move. Clean, green, and built to keep diesel engines running strong. It's an engine booster, a soybean supporter, and an environmental champion all in one. Every gallon reduces emissions, strengthens Ohio farms, and powers your ride. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, May corn 481 3/4 down a half. December corn 464 1/2 down a penny and a half. May soybeans 1029 1/2 down 7. November beans 1025 3/4 down 6 3/4. July wheat down a dime at 552 1/4. At the Mercantile Exchange, April cattle 209.77 down a nickel. May hogs 91.02 up 62 cents. August feeder cattle 289.15 down $1.72. This is the Ohio AgNet.